can't believe it's been exactly 90 days since I posted my first video on YouTube. So what would I do different? I would really take the time to optimize on SEOs. I think it's so important and something I didn't necessarily take serious until later on throughout my first 90 days. So what does that mean? That means our tags, the title, thumbnails, and really looking at those categories. So I recently started using TubeBuddy. Fantastic. What I really like about TubeBuddy is that it has milestones, and I'm somebody, when it comes to goals, I work really hard to reach them. So it does set certain milestones that are obtainable, which I really like and also really motivates me. And I recently started vidIQ. I like vidIQ because it also gives you recommendations based on your content to post. So I really want to start utilizing all different types of social media platforms. So I recommend anybody who's starting out, grab those handles, make sure that you take that handle. So for instance, me, I'm Brianne Nicole T1D. If anybody who's new here doesn't know what that means, that stands for type 1 diabetes. Again, what's great with all these different platforms, I am going to link my YouTube onto there. It just expands my network in a greater way and my content. I need to add more B-roll. B-roll is so important. Here are some examples. So B-roll, in my opinion, really helps the audience stay engaged in your content. Also, being mindful of the angles you are using when recording and constantly changing those angles really help an audience stay engaged. Also, something I would do differently, yes, you want to stay consistent. However, I do want to post more. So for my first 90 days, I did post 1 video a week consistently, if not sometimes 2 videos per week. Where now these next 90 days, I do want to post 2 videos per week. And again, I can't stress enough the importance of staying consistent. And it's important, if I am going to post 2 videos per week, that I do keep the quality the same. My biggest advice is quality over quantity. I think some people might find that crazy because I think a lot of times we're hearing post, post, post. However, it's also important quality because that 1 video that you post can be somebody's first video. And in my opinion, first impressions are everything. Again, anybody starting, my biggest advice is to just start. There's never going to be a perfect time to start. If you're going to wait for the perfect time, it's never going to happen. And I can't emphasize that enough. So just start, and that is the best way to learn. I learned so much. Yes, I learned a lot on YouTube and following different influencers, but I learned even more once I started recording my first video, my second video, my third video. And one of the hardest things for me was talking in front of the camera because it almost feels so awkward, like as if you're talking to yourself. But then after a while, like at least for me, you start to get used to it and you really start to learn to speak to your audience, even though they're not there in front of you, but you know they're there watching. And it's amazing to see when you get your first like, when you get your first view, when you get your first follower, even when you get your first subscriber, it's such an amazing feeling. Like if you look at it, when you get, let's say 100 views, that's like talking in a room full of 100 people. Even though there are some things I would do differently, there's definitely some things in my opinion I did right. For example, networking. Networking is so important when it comes to starting a YouTube channel, especially networking with like-minded individuals because you can learn so much from so many different people. For instance, networking led me to collaborating with different individuals. It also led me to paid partnerships. I also did get my first 100 subscribers within a month. I stayed consistent. I made sure I recorded 1 video per week. So these are some of my tips and tricks when it comes to starting off your YouTube channel, and it's so important those first 90 days as they're so crucial, not even for your audience, but also for you as an individual because you learn so much, so definitely enjoy the ride. Also, I did want to mention, so since I am vlogging and talking a lot about my diabetes, I've been managing my diabetes 10 times better in my opinion because I feel so accountable to all of you. And also my association has been changing drastically because I am now more involved in the diabetic community, so I really feel very supported, and I can't thank you enough for everyone commenting, reaching out, telling me things, suggestions, because it's so appreciated. Because even though you're telling me I'm helping you, I can't tell you enough that you're also helping me as well, and I'm forever grateful. So thank you all. Please comment below any suggestions, anything you would like to see these next 90 days for me to record. Talk to you all soon.